Test. Okay. Okay. Whoa. Gmix. Okay, let me change this. Okay. Should be good. Okay. Perfect. All right. There we go. Now I don't hear myself anymore. Okay. Do, 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 do. All right, let's do a quick match before we get on competitive.
Help get that vehicle to its destination.
Love you too, buddy. Good night.
You know my legacy, but this is a whole new chapter.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Time to heal.
Wow. Whoa, this is a bit crazy in there. Okay, we don't have anybody actually, so that's why.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Ain't nobody there. Damn it. Something there like locked me down. Oh my god, what hit me there?
Solal has blessed me again.
Do we have another fifth yet? Six, I mean? Maybe not. Which one's the real one? Okay. Ah!
Let's do this. Maximum pulse.
Damn.
Bless me again.
That guy was the Jizz Lord. Oh, we have a black Spider-Man? Fuck you, Iron Man.
Mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Time to heal.
Fuck you, Iron Man. All right, is that everybody? We good? All right. Oh, damn.
Almost got out.
Only 60 seconds left.
Damn. Oof. Yeah, both of them.
I rise in the name of Quinlan.
Quinlan.
Down to 30 seconds.
Oh, this was like a fail game anyways. I mean,
Get that vehicle moving again. The final 10 seconds.
fuck your couch.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I could use this. Ball here, so he.
Loki's killing that tree, but we're going to stop him.
Oh, the guy, everybody?
Maximum pulse.
No, we can't let Spider-Man slide like that. Know what I mean?
You're halfway there. Keep going. Come on, time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, there he is. That's a real one. Didn't somebody just come out of here?
Judge, jury,
Checkpoint.
Gotcha, bitch.
Your fight is over.
Nah, we're not gonna let that Spider-Man slide like that. Hell no. Hell no, playboy.
Time to heal.
Nah, playboy. Oh, that was a lot. Fucking squirrels.
And stay down.
You'll fall long before.
All right, Spider-Man. Got you, bitch. Got you, cuz.
That was for the glory of Quinlan.
Yeah.
I'm used to
Yeah.
fabled realms counting on me.
next time, Castle.
This place deserves some
Only
attention.
60 seconds left.
Was it Magneto in here?
That's it. Don't let anything stand in your way.
It seems we have company.
Oh, I wanted to go around him, but I couldn't move that well.
Anyone say fireworks? What do I hit
Down to
next?
30 seconds.
Solo has blessed me again.
Okay, he's still Spider-Man. Oh, that Iron Man has it's MVP? Nah, cuz we gotta knock him down a bit, dog.
Your powers are mine. Maximum pulse.
Gotta
Ball here, so he.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man.
Not bad.
Oh, damn. That one was rough. I was not expecting like all three to like these guys.
Pulse.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Let me check my huh? Uh, VA is about to do a reduction in force on this 1/3 of our staff. Okay. I don't think, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what to do anymore. Like, I just feel like every video I make or something, like, either, like, they just straight up, like, don't give a I don't know. It just feels like all these, no matter what I do, I can't get a video to like pop off or anything. I feel like they changed something in the algorithm to the point that like videos just don't go anywhere anymore. Anyways, let's 2 sprays, heal 5,000, secure 10 assists. That's easy enough. But yeah. Ah, crap, but I didn't mean to click on quick match.
Pick your hero. Or villain. I'm not judging.
Stepping out of the 一夫当关，万夫
大夫
莫开。
嗨。All right, let's do this. Let's get this shit over with. Let's go do competitive.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Any chance you could tell your little friends to stop skittering around? I'm trying to focus here.
Hey, these squirrels are just as much a part of the team as you are, buddy.
Whoa.
You really think they'll be able to help if we go up against Dr. Doom?
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it?
You surface dwellers can't resist destroying yourselves, can you?
Nah, man. Gotta destroy everything, bro. That's what we are as humans. We are a invasive species. That's what humans is all about.
They are.
Someone's shooting at us.
What strange little spiders.
Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now. Capture the mission area!
Wow. Wow. How about somebody getting fucking pocket healed?
You'll fall long before I do.
Talk about somebody getting pocket healed. Holy fuck.
Everybody needs a hand sometimes. Or a dagger. Take that, you villain! Control seized! There they are.
We have done our part. I summon the seas.
Okay.
I like the cold. Ty, I'm ready.
Bless me, Solo.
Did she see me? I think the sniper saw me. Oh, we got a Sharky here.
Someone's shooting at us.
Oh my god. Oh, why did I start climbing the wall? The fuck? It's like I feel like either they all just got res at the same time or they just fucking all decided to turn around at the same time. Oh. I saw Sharky and I think Invisible Woman that walked past me, so I was like, "Oh, I'm good."
You've captured more than half
But nope,
of the mission area.
I was not.
Going. Double KO.
Jesus, eat a dick. Where you go? Oh,
The area's almost yours.
bye, Sharky.
Territory.
Mine's in place.
Okay, the Scarlet Witch.
Disappear.
Oh damn, that's a bad freaking
Against the world.
placement.
You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner. Control lost.
No,
That's 3. Their team's capture progress has passed the halfway point. Control seize. You'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
yeah, got him, bitch.
I'm the sworn protector of Quinlan. Who are you?
Look.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
It will take more than light to solve our problems.
Go to sleep, Noah.
That's okay. Happens all the time. Hey, I bet I can help with the time thing, Majid. Or maybe I'll ask Tony next time I see him. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I'm
All
out.
you need to do is capture the mission area.
Shatter
Got
this
it?
thing with a single punch.
My war against the surface world will have to wait.
That's how you beat on a woman, guys.
A nice deep freeze.
Here they are. The fools. Seize control of this place.
Would I call myself a woman beater? No, but what I say, I am a person that likes to check out a woman's body for their oh, getting out of here. Whoop, 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 help, whoop, 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 whoop. Yeah. Yep. No, I'm not going in there. Yeah, I'm not going in there. Fuck that.
We are undefeatable.
What is that? Oh no, that's bad. Oh no, that's bad.
The mission area. Keep going.
That's bad.
Control lost.
What? We lost control? What? Fuck you, tree. Dang.
Rise in the name of Quinlan.
Okay, Mantis.
Control seized.
Okay. So Cloak and Dagger is still like my most annoying one to kill. Just because she can cloak.
Another loser to punch. Bless me, so
Does she see me?
The area's almost yours. Sometimes. Or a dagger.
time to heal.
We are undefeatable!
GG. Got him, bitch.
Another epic victory! Big win!
Why is this thing unstable? Okay. Competitive. Let's go. Yes, I am still in gold. When would I leave gold? I don't know. Don't know when I'm going to leave gold. Maybe one day. Oh. Oh. Keep in mind, it's not that I wasn't in gold.
You'll need a top
Fucking, I fell from plat 1 to gold.
万夫莫开.
There's a huge difference.
Escape pod ready. Opening escape capsule.
Round 1!
My
Go!
power is a gift from Solao the
30
Undying.
seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Don't worry, bro. 40 DPS is literally the meta.
Hey, Hawk.
There was like a secret patch that updated maybe like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Hey, bro, you're not gonna let me finish my statement? You're just gonna interrupt me? It's pretty rude.
Dragon kick.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
We definitely are cooked. You're
All
not
you
wrong.
need to do is capture the mission area.
This match
Got it?
is done.
I'll do what's needed to win this, even if it does mean taking out some allies. Those guys, somebody scratch my back.
That kid's already starting.
Help. So
How retarded is this?
Oh, okay, no, we're doing good. For one,
Stealth.
Nice.
Not bad.
I hooked the bitch. Hey, we're
Bless
doing
me,
it.
Solao.
Like,
Go low. Get her.
I tell my friend, like,
Hey, we're not cooked. We got this.
Easy peasy.
Holy shit. You, whoever's ever cooked, I want you to apologize right now.
help get that vehicle to its destination.
Oh, easy.
Easy peasy.
Yes, sir.
From the shadows.
Jeff behind. Hello. There we go. Thank you.
We have to keep moving.
Here come our
Time
More about the Spider-Man. Ignore that bitch. God damn. Nice, nice. That was a really clutch infinite ammo thing.
The vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
Thank you.
time to heal.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man!
He's nice, Wolverine.
This is fucking crazy.
Nothing like seeing immortality has its perks.
That's it! Don't let anything stand in your way.
Maximum pulse!
Oh, we gotta back up.
Another loser.
Thank you, Joe. Sorry I didn't kill him earlier.
Get that vehicle moving again!
Time to heal.
Oh yeah.
use this.
Pick it up.
Alright, let's group up, guys.
Come on.
Yeah, if we get like one big group up, we should be okay.
Look who just showed up.
What? Pretty slow.
Yeah, the Iron Man's fucking me. So hard to get some.
Maximum pulse!
I am ready to put on a
Maximum pulse!
Immortality has its perks.
Stand down! Again! Again! Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Again! You're mine.
You guys ready to overthrow a king? Let's do this.
Damn it, I was so close.
Time to heal.
Come our next victims.
Hail at last. Bless me, Solo.
Don't go solo.
Ah. Like, I don't know why she's in cloak. Could have healed.
Name of Quinlan.
Only 60 seconds left. close. This is your big chance.
Oh, heal me, heal me. Thank you. Jet low, jet low. Nice. Okay, good, we got it.
The current score
Woo.
is 3-2.
Somehow.
0. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on.
一夫当关，万夫莫开。
The right heroes
Honestly,
can
we
make
were really
all the
cooking them. Like,
difference.
we kind of struggled at the end there for the most part, though. It was pretty much a steamroll. Hopefully, though, I don't know. Maybe defense might be worse.
Round 2.
Immortality comes with a price, but I was glad to pay it.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
That's some nice armor you got there, sweetheart. How much you want for it?
Mo, Rocket. You know Spider isn't for sale.
How about just one arm? No? Ah, come on! You're killing me, kid.
Not yet, but I'd be careful if I were you.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
Bless me, so long. Almost bowed out.
Range really low.
Those things, Namor.
Wow.
Fuck, no way.
Well, not bad.
I'm gonna back up. Diamond spamming up. Go behind you. Solo. What? Careful, Penny. Thank you so much.
Us against the world.
Oh, I fucking missed. Nice. Pretty good Iron Man kill. Right?
Bless me, so long.
I gotta wait.
Octopus down.
Good shot, good shot.
Go right, careful, careful. Got her.
Bless
Oh
me,
no!
so long.
Thank you.
Another loser to punch. Dragon.
Man's gonna be behind us, imagine this.
Namor summon squishy ball again, so
Oh man.
Thanks, Namor.
time to heal.
Maximum
Yeah, I knew it. Oh! He was there for a while. He only hit one, so it's fine.
Quinlan.
Only 60 seconds.
Oh, there's an octave? Nice.
Fire mode.
By the eye of Agamotto!
Oh.
Down to 30 seconds. I am ready to put on a show.
Immortality has its perks.
No way. Train just literally won.
The final 10 seconds. Penny, it should have been you.
Hey, Dee! Enjoy the
Let's keep playing until we have a winner.
Oh,
Okay, yeah, we lost.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Hold up,
We
Dee!
need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Solal has blessed me again.
Ready for a boost?
Better stop that vehicle.
that was crazy.
This is a nice spot.
爆元首一，
Fuck.
Obi-Wan. Help. So cold.
bless me，首一。
Exposed. They've made it halfway. Stop them. I like the cold. Us against the world. Better stop that vehicle.
The moon haunts you!
Midnight Blade's been over.
Judge, jury, executioner!
Look who just showed up.
There's still a chance to stop them. Co-op time.
The creatures of the deep are so weak.
Only 60 seconds left.
爆元首一，
气贯长虹！ 气贯长虹！
Bro,
Solal has blessed me again.
no fucking way, man.
30 seconds.
I'll probably get a tank.
Berserker!
What we
Rage!
need now! That fucking hurt!
The final 10 seconds.
Yeah,
By the eye of Agamotto!
Oh, wow.
Doing this.
Remind me never
Oh, that was so weird. How big?
Final score. 3,
GG.
2, 1.
GG. Good job, team.
Yeah, for real, we did really well.
Another epic.
So fucking crazy. Bro. Like, that was so fucking crazy. I don't even know how we won that game. That is just freaking insane. I had like a little bit of nosebleed earlier. Like crusty blood.
Pick your hero or villain. I'm not judging.
一夫当关，万夫莫开。
I'm gonna just hover over Iron Fist and then see what happens. Okay,
In a huge and rare move, Chief Justice Roberts just hit back at Donald Trump over attacks on a judge who issued a ruling against him. Israel just killed over 400 Palestinians in a surprise airstrike, breaking the ceasefire, and they're warning there's more to come. We've got 3 big updates you need to know about Dogecoin news, and the Assassin's Creed anti-harassment and Drake UMG lawsuit situations have divided the internet. We're talking about all that and much more on today's brand new Philip DeFranco Show. You daily dive into the news, how it's being covered, and how people are reacting to it, starting with this. Ubisoft is now reportedly planning for its employees to be hit with an onslaught of harassment as their new game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, is set to release this week. Because while for many it is a highly anticipated game, for others, they're angry. For nearly the last year, it's faced a sort of anti-DEI controversy. And this, in part, because the installation takes place in feudal Japan, and when the trailer first came out back in May, people got to meet the 2 main characters, Naoe and Yasuke. And as you might have noticed, Yasuke is black, and that prompted tons of people to cry woke and threaten to not play the game, with some tying their issue with his race to the fact that the game is set in Japan, arguing that lead should have been Japanese. And then on top of that, some were also mad that the other protagonist was a woman. But as far as historical accuracy is concerned, reportedly, Yasuke is a historical figure in Black Samurai. Though with that, it kind of added to the backlash as some contend that there are questions about his rank and samurai status. So you had outlets like Forbes noting that there was some criticism about accuracy alongside people who were just simply mad that he was black at all. And while all of this, it started in spring of last year with the game about to come out, recent posts from the Assassin's Creed account have been met with some replies that are slamming the game for being woke, or DEI, or some variation of that. So now we're seeing things like the outlet BFM TV reporting that Ubisoft is implementing an anti-harassment strategy for the game's release and protected staffers.
Oh, damn.
With one staffer reportedly telling the outlet, "We're advised not to post on social media that we work at Ubisoft to avoid harassment." And that staffer noting some have already dealt with a series of attacks since the game was first presented to the public. Additionally, you had BFM TV reporting that Ubisoft presented an anti-harassment plan to the CSE, and while the outlet didn't say what the acronym meant, Forbes said that it referred to Canada's communication security establishment. And this plan will reportedly involve a team monitoring and acting in the event of any targeted attack, as well as providing psychological and legal support to employees that are targeted. With outlets like Forbes noting that, as wild as this might sound, quote, "There have been many such instances of individual developers targeted over games deemed anti-DEI statements they've made," saying this can involve them being personally attacked and brigaded online, or their actual faces being plastered on YouTube thumbnails. And with that, saying that some have been targeted just for progressive-seeming t-shirts that they've been photographed wearing, having their pronouns in their bio, or for having a certain hair color. And so with all that, we've seen a lot of different responses to the news. For some, like big streamer and commentator Hassan Piker, writing, "The wildest meta online is content creators of every political background running targeted harassment operations in the ways that anonymous online forums used to, and masquerading it as accountability." And adding, "Sending death threats to devs is not accountability. You should self-reflect." And this, as you had others saying, the fact Ubisoft has to do this speaks volumes about how toxic the gaming community really is. Absolutely insane. With some there believing this issue is not tied to just this case or scenario. You had Wired last year reporting that DEI has kind of become a rallying cry for Gamergate 2.0, with them citing a postdoc at UCLA there who argued, even if we cleansed our games of women, non-white people, queer people, which is their ask and one we absolutely should not give into, they would turn to insufficiently masculine depictions of white men, and claiming this movement exists only in opposition to some polluting other, an enemy that must be manufactured if a real enemy cannot be found. And that, as you had outlets saying, right, that idea of trying to point to others and manufacture enemies probably sounds familiar in terms of our political landscape. We're seeing, for example, Forbes noting that these anti-DEI social trends are now normalized in the US government. Some even arguing that the anti-woke right has pulled some of its strategy straight out of the Gamergate playbook. For example, Axio is writing that the far right learned from Gamergate and other online movements how to use social media attacks to achieve real-world political gains in ways that many key institutions from journalism to government to tech are still struggling to understand. You know, with all that, as the discourse around this on both sides continues online, the reviews for the game are coming in, and the release is just around the corner, I gotta pass the question off to you with, what are your thoughts? What do you agree or disagree with what you've seen online or what you've seen reported, as well as just your general thoughts around the anti-harassment measures or on the bigger picture scale of the anti-woke, anti-DEI stuff. But then, switching gears to big entertainment.
How many
and legal
bullets was
news,
that?
Drake picked a fight, took a huge L, got all in his feelings, and decided to sue to make said feelings hurt West. That is pretty much the scathing legal argument Universal Music Group just dropped on Drake in a recent legal filing over his lawsuit against them. Because if you don't remember the specifics, earlier this year, Drake sued UMG, which represents both Kendrick Lamar and Drake himself, with Drake accusing the company of defamation and alleging that when Universal allowed Kendrick to release Not Like Us, the label, quote, launched a campaign to create a viral hit out of a rap track that falsely accuses Drake of being a pedophile and calls for violent retribution against him. And then further claiming that UMG knew that the salacious allegations against Drake were false and chose corporate greed over the safety and well-being of its artists. But UMG, you know, they denied the allegations, and yesterday they filed a motion to get the suit dismissed, claiming that Drake, quote, lost a rap battle that he provoked and in which he willingly participated. And then adding, and remember, I am reading this word for word, instead of accepting the loss like the unbothered rap artist he often claims to be, he has sued his own record label in a misguided attempt to salve his wounds. And that's just where the filing starts. He also had the label saying that in a rap battle, it takes two to tango, right? And so with that, they said that Drake used UMG's platform to promote tracks that said Kendrick abused his wife and that one of his sons is not actually his and was fathered by his business partner. With him then further adding, Not Like Us did not emerge out of thin air. It was Lamar's culminating diss track and one of the nastiest lyrical warfare rap feuds in recent history. And adding, it followed the release of 7 preceding tracks in which Drake and Lamar hurled increasingly vitriolic allegations at each other, and saying if there was circumstance for the audience to anticipate the use of epithets, fiery rhetoric, or hyperbole, this is it. Or with them arguing that this is all part of the diss track genre, which is centered around outrageous insults, and saying they would be severely chilled if Drake's suit were permitted to proceed, which is essentially a legalese way to say that Drake is kind of fighting against the culture. And then when it comes to the specific claims levied at Not Like Us, with UMG arguing that criticism concerning Drake's relationships with minors predate the song and have even been acknowledged by Drake himself. Essentially saying that if Drake has 99 problems, 11 is one. Then also, as far as the reach of the song, there is no understating just how big this song was. I mean, Not Like Us swept the Grammys, it was the main event, Kendrick's Super Bowl halftime performance. But with that, Drake's team maintains that this is the result of a defamation campaign from his own label, with his lawyer responding to UMG's dismissal motion by saying, UMG wants to pretend that this is about a rap battle in order to distract its shareholders, artists, and the public from a simple truth. A greedy company is finally being held responsible for profiting from dangerous misinformation that has already resulted in multiple acts of violence. Or with Drake's initial suit noting that Kendrick's cover art for Not Like Us depicts his house and street with sex offender markers on it, and as the rap battle was ongoing, a shooting actually took place outside of Drake's home and left the security guard injured. And as far as why Drake believes that his own label would defame him, well, Drake's current deal is coming to an end. And so the suit alleges that UMG intentionally harmed Drake's brand to gain leverage when negotiating a new deal with her. But there, you have UMG maintaining it did nothing wrong by publishing Not Like Us, and argues that Drake is in the wrong for filing the lawsuit. But I'm also noting here that Drake previously signed a petition just a few years back that condemned prosecutors from using artists' creative expression and lyrics against them in court, with the label adding, Drake was right then and is wrong now. You know, as far as the response to this news, we've largely seen Drake mostly getting dunked on online, with people seemingly really loving just how scathing UMG was in the dismissal motion and that Drake's getting dragged by his own label. But I mean, the filing even has a header using one of Drake's own lyrics against him, with the document starting by quoting him saying, yeah, I want it all, that's why I strive for it, diss me, you'll never hear a reply for it. Which I'll say is, as far as the lawsuit dismissal motion world, pretty standout. You know, while we wait to see how this plays out, of course, I'd love to know your thoughts in those comments down below. But then, next up, we gotta talk about how Donald Trump and many of his supporters think that judges that he disagrees with should be impeached. And now, Supreme Court Chief Justice John Roberts has spoken up, with Roberts issuing a rare statement criticizing Donald Trump and his allies for their attacks on the judiciary. Right, but with that, to understand, the starting point for this story is the Trump administration deported dozens of alleged Venezuelan gang members by invoking the Alien Enemies Act of 1798. Right, and we went over this in detail yesterday, but there were at least 3 key points. Right, one, it's a law that allows the government to deport certain individuals in times of war without trial. While the administration claims we're being invaded by gangs and therefore at war, that's kind of a hot take to say the least. Two, despite the administration's claims, it hasn't provided any evidence yet that all those being deported are gang members or have committed any crimes in the U.S. at all. And three, despite the apparent lack of due process, these deportees are not just being sent back to their home country, they're instead being sent to a prison in El Salvador and forced to work. So with all that, you had U.S. District Judge James Boasberg issuing a temporary restraining order to halt the deportations until the question of their legality could be resolved in the court system. Notably, however, the planes were already in the air and the administration defied the judge's verbal directive to have them turned around, claiming they hadn't truly defined the judge because his written decision didn't also specify that the plane should be sent back, but then also claiming that the judge lacked the authority in the first place. And then, today, you had Trump writing on social media, clearly in reference to Boasberg, this radical left lunatic of a judge, a troublemaker and agitator who was sadly appointed by Barack Hussein Obama, was not elected president. And then going on to say in all caps, he didn't win anything. I won for many reasons and an overwhelming mandate, but fighting illegal immigration may have been the #1 reason for this historic victory. With Trump also saying, I'm just doing what the voters wanted me to do. This judge, like many of the crooked judges I am forced to appear before, should be impeached. Though notably, of course, with that, there's several federal judges appointed by Democratic and Republican presidents, including Trump himself, who have blocked Trump's agenda in the past. You know, with that, there have been increasingly frequent calls for various judges to be impeached from the MAGA base as well as from those in power. You know, with all this, you have experts saying it is all incredibly alarming because it's an attack on a basic pillar of our democracy. Right? And so with that, Roberts apparently could no longer stay quiet, saying in a statement, for more than 2 centuries, it has been established that impeachment is not an appropriate response to disagreement concerning a judicial decision. The normal appellate review process exists for that purpose. Right? And a key thing with that is this type of thing is extremely rare, but it also isn't the first time that Roberts has publicly clashed with Trump. In 2018, for example, he criticized Trump for singling out an Obama judge who had ruled against the administration, saying, "We do not have Obama judges or Trump judges, Bush judges, or Clinton judges. What we have is an extraordinary group of dedicated judges doing their level best to do equal right to those appearing before them." But in any case, as a recording, neither Trump nor the White House has commented on Roberts' statement. Though notably, even after Roberts issued his statement, you had Brandon Gill, a Republican from Texas, announcing on X that he had introduced articles of impeachment against Boasberg, writing he is guilty of high crimes and misdemeanors and should be removed from office, which is something that has many experts saying they cannot stress enough how insane that is. We're saying that there's very good reason to believe these deportations are illegal, and the judiciary has only done what it's designed to do. To be very clear, while a handful of federal judges have been removed from office in the past, it has been because of gross misconduct in office, such as taking bribes, like not as a result of individual decisions.
Spider-Man in the back.
If you just start trying to oust judges because you do not agree with their decision, the whole system just falls apart. Right? And all of this is notably happening.
Infinite bullet in the back.
Out that the judiciary is seemingly the only thing trying to do a check and balance, as Congress has kind of just given up so much power to the executive branch. But for now, we're gonna have to wait to control today. But then, next up in big international news, the Israeli government just killed hundreds of Palestinians in Gaza, breaking its fragile, flailing ceasefire with Hamas. And while you have many hoping that a deal can somehow be salvaged, you have a lot of people just left wondering how many more people are going to die. And you know, with that, the surprise airstrikes early this morning, they reportedly killed at least 404 Palestinians to be exact, including 5 senior Hamas leaders, but also women, children, and other non-combatants, according to the Gazan Health Ministry. But we're seeing things like, for example, a strike on a home in the southern city of Rafah, reportedly killing 17 members of one family, including 5 children and their parents, as well as another 3 children and a father. And overall, it was among one of the deadliest single days of the war, a war that has killed tens of thousands of Palestinians, most of whom were reportedly women and children, as well as displaced an estimated 90% of the population, and otherwise led to widespread destruction and devastation across Gaza. With Israel, as a result, facing evidence-backed accusations of war crimes, crimes against humanity, and genocide. And that is, of course, the war first erupted when Hamas-led militants stormed into southern Israel on October 7, 2023, killing some 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking 251 hostages. With evidence of the atrocities admitted that day, also supporting accusations of war crimes and crimes against humanity against the group. But in any case, regarding this latest Israeli attack, you have officials saying that the operation was open-ended and expected.
Not sure what he's talking about.
Telling the Associated Press that Israel was striking Hamas's military, leaders, and infrastructure and planned to expand the operation beyond air attacks. They also accused Hamas of attempting to rebuild and plan new attacks, and with all that, the Israeli military has now also ordered people to evacuate areas alongside Gaza's borders and head towards the center of the territory. With this further indicating that Israel could soon launch a new ground offensive. And on that note, the prospect of the war continuing, it's raised concerns about
dang.
hostages still held by Hamas and believed to be alive. And this is notably, according to a recent New York Times analysis, at least 41 hostages have been killed since being taken captive on October 7th. some killed by Hamas's fire, some by Israeli bullets and airstrikes, and others whose cause of death remain unknown. Now with all that, the main group representing families of the captives, they criticized the government for backing out of the ceasefire, saying that it chose to give up on the hostages, and adding, "We are shocked, angry, and terrified by the deliberate dismantling of the process to return our loved ones from the terrible captivity of Hamas." And then, on the flip side, you have a senior Hamas official claiming Netanyahu's decision to return to war amounts to a death sentence for the remaining hostages, with him accusing the Israeli prime minister of launching the strikes to try and save his far-right governing coalition, and also calling on mediators to reveal facts on who broke the truce. And while of course, we can't be in Netanyahu's head, we don't definitively know his inner motivation, it is certainly true that he's facing mounting domestic pressure, which this latest move may help him weather. But mass protests have already been planned over not only his handling of the hostage crisis, but his recent decision to fire the head of Israel's internal security agency, a guy by the name of Ronen Bar. With a key thing there being that under Bar's leadership, the agency is currently investigating ties between Netanyahu advisors and leaked classified documents, as well as the possible exchange of favors with Qatari officials. And with all that, Netanyahu has already fired or forced out a string of top officials since the war began, with his critics saying this has all been part of a broader campaign by Netanyahu to undermine independent government institutions, with the ultimate aim being to boost his reputation, silence dissent, and hold on to power in the face of pressure to not only accept his own alleged responsibility for policy failures in the lead-up to October 7th, but
I don't know what he's expecting me to say.
And if we're looking at the situation critically, to some extent, it seems to be working. Right? His latest testimony in the long-running trial, it's actually been canceled directly in response to the urgency of the ongoing military operation in Gaza. And this, as the operation has also seemingly given him a political boost, at least among extremists, with saying the far-right Jewish Power Party that left Netanyahu's coalition in response to the ceasefire now announcing it would be rejoining the government. And their party's leader is saying, "We welcome the return of the state of Israel led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to intense fighting." And all of this happening at a time where Netanyahu and the Israeli far-right have seemingly been emboldened by the Trump administration, with the White House even revealing that it had been consulted by Israel about yesterday's airstrikes and also voicing support for Israel's actions. You also had National Security Council spokesman Brian Hughes blaming Hamas, claiming that the group could have released hostages to extend the ceasefire, but instead chose refusal and war. And notably, the key words there were echoed by Netanyahu's office, saying that he ordered the military operation following the repeated refusal by Hamas to release the hostages, and warned, from now on, Israel will act against Hamas with increasing military strength. But this also, as the ceasefire and hostage release deal that Hamas refused, it's not the one they agreed to back in January. Because the first phase of that deal, it actually expired on March 1st, and it saw the partial withdrawal of Israeli troops from Gaza, the increased flow of humanitarian aid, and the release and exchange of individuals held by either side. Also, I'll say here that during the first phase, Israeli forces killed dozens of Palestinians who the military say approached its troops or entered unauthorized areas. But overall, the ceasefire was seen as having held. However, it was also meant to include the start of talks to negotiate the second phase, which would see the declaration of a permanent cessation of hostilities in Gaza, the withdrawal of all Israeli troops, and the release of all living hostages in exchange for additional Palestinians described as prisoners and detainees. But there, Israel reportedly refused to move forward with phase 2, claiming that it had never been required, with seeing the country's foreign minister, for example, claiming that Israel received a side letter from the Biden administration that explicitly states that there is no automatic transition between phases. And so instead, you had Israel calling for an extension of the ceasefire during which Hamas would be required to release additional hostages. When Hamas then refused and insisted that phase 2 move forward as originally planned, Netanyahu announced that Israel would begin blocking the supply of food, aid supplies, and fuel to Gaza, with him and others arguing they couldn't commit to an end to the war as long as Hamas remained armed and in control of Gaza. Though notably, with that, Arab leaders have endorsed a plan to rebuild Gaza that would see Hamas cede power to a committee of independent experts until a reformed Palestinian Authority can assume control. However, Israel has also ruled out any role for the Palestinian Authority in Gaza. And Hamas, while claiming to be willing to let other Palestinians run the enclave, says it won't give up its arms until there is a Palestinian state. And so with that, the US and Israel flat out rejected it and instead took steps towards implementing Trump's Gaza takeover / what many say would be ethnic cleansing proposal, or with the Israeli government establishing a new office under its defense ministry to manage the mass transfer of Palestinians from the Gaza Strip to other countries. Right, and this is American and Israeli officials have reportedly been approaching the governments of Sudan and Somalia to talk about resettling Palestinians there and also considering Syria. Though with that, you have Trump insisting that, quote, nobody is expelling any Palestinians. But ultimately, we're gonna have to wait to see how this plays out, especially considering all these new developments. But then, switching gears from that, we need to talk about 3 things you need to know about Doge today. Right, and so the first is that Doge is now being accused of breaking into a private nonprofit that's not part of the executive branch and using law enforcement to physically remove the organization's leaders. With this massive showdown taking place yesterday at the U.S. Institute of Peace, which is an independent nonprofit that was created by Congress back in 1984 under legislation that very notably was signed into law by President Reagan. And the aim of USIP is to help prevent violent conflicts and broker peace deals abroad, according to its website. But last month, Trump signed an executive order listing the nonprofit as one of 4 agencies to be eliminated to the maximum extent consistent with applicable law as part of Doge and Elon Musk's sweeping cut. Since last Friday, the administration fired most of the organization's board except for 3 members: Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and National Defense University President Peter Garvin. And then, with the rest of the board out of the way, those 3 went into full succession mode and promptly fired USIP's president and CEO George Moose and replaced him with Kenneth Jackson. And he is a State Department official who played a role in dismantling USAID. But with all this, you had officials at USIP arguing that Trump and Musk actually had no authority to gut their operations because the agency is a congressionally chartered nonprofit and not part of the executive branch, with a lawyer for the institute saying that it was preparing to sue the administration over the board's removal and that officials at the organization have refused to recognize the termination. Also, according to USIP officials, people working for Doge initially tried to gain access to the agency's DC headquarters shortly after the mass firing of the board, but representatives from the institute made them leave. Then, later that same day, Doge officials coming back with 2 FBI agents, but they eventually left after a lawyer for the nonprofit told them it was an independent agency outside of the executive branch. But then, yesterday, Doge once again turned up outside of USIP headquarters, but this time they had what appeared to be private security and they tried to enter the building. So officials at the institute, they called police to report that Doge members were trespassing on the property, but when the police actually arrived, instead of clearing out the Doge team, they removed USIP leaders from the building, including Moose, and allowed Doge to enter. With Doge saying on X that police also escorted Jackson, USIP's new leader, into the building and accused Moose of refusing to grant him lawful access. But with that, we saw Moose, for his part, painting the story in a very different way, instead accusing Doge of illegally breaking into a building that they had no right to access and physically evicting cleaners that they had no right to remove. And adding, our statute is very clear about the status of this building and this institute. So what has happened here today is an illegal takeover by elements of the executive branch of a private non-profit corporation, with a lawyer for USIP also painting this as a full-fledged coup, saying that the building was seized by force by police officers with guns acting under the authority of a resolution that we are going to get a court to declare invalid. And to that point, a key thing, I really cannot emphasize how significant this is. While Doge and Trump have repeatedly been accused of exceeding legal authorities in their mass purges, this is markedly different from anything we've seen. And so this is going to be an absolutely key and crucial legal test that we have to keep an eye on. But that then brings us to the second big piece of Doge-related news we need to talk about, which is that current and former employees of the Social Security Administration who span the political spectrum are now warning that Doge's cost-cutting measures, they're going to hurt the agency's ability to serve the public. And that failure would have massive implications. The SSA sends retirement, survivor, and disability payments to more than 73 million Americans each month. And it's also super significant in that Trump has repeatedly promised that he will not touch Social Security benefits.
Social Security will not be touched. It'll only be strengthened.
We're not touching Social Security, other than we make it more efficient, but the people are going to get what they get.
Look, Social Security won't be touched. Other than this fraud or something, we're going to find it's going to be strengthened, but won't be touched. Medicare, Medicaid, none of that stuff is going to be touched.
Nothing.
Aims to cut $2 trillion. Can you guarantee that Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security will not be touched?
Yeah, I mean, I have said it so many times, I shouldn't be answering that question.
Executioner!
This will not be read my lips. It won't be read my lips anymore. We're not going to touch it. Now, we are going to look for fraud.
But a huge thing here is that you have experts and officials on both sides of the aisle saying that Elon Musk and Doge's so-called cost-cutting measures, they have the potential to create such massive holes in the infrastructure of the agency that they could destabilize the entire program, which, in turn, could threaten access to Social Security benefits. Because a big thing to understand is that SSA staffing, who is already at a 50-year low, putting enormous strain on the agency and undermining its ability to serve the public. And now they're calling even more in response to pressure from Doge, with the agency announcing in recent weeks that it will cut up to 12% of its workforce while also offering early retirement and other incentives to get people to leave. And then even more recently, we've seen Musk ramping up his criticism of the program and seemingly teeing up even more cuts to entitlement programs like Social Security, Medicaid, and Medicare. With him even calling Social Security a Ponzi scheme in a recent interview with Joe Rogan and saying on Fox News last week,
The way it's important in entitlement spending, which is which is most of the federal spending is entitlements. So that's like the big one to eliminate. That's the sort of $500 billion, maybe $600-700 billion a year. That is also a mechanism by which the Democrats attract and retain illegal immigrants by essentially paying them to come here and then turning them into voters.
And so right off the bat, there appears to be zero evidence of basically anything that he's claiming here. First of all, it appears there's nothing to back up his claim that there's $500 billion to $700 billion in entitlement spending fraud, right, as Forbes explains. That would represent nearly a third of the $1.5 trillion Social Security paid out last year and approximately 20% of the amount spent on Social Social Security and Medicare combined. When the administration tried to provide evidence for his claims on social media, it pointed to a Government Accountability Office estimate that fraudulent spending across the government is between $233 billion and $521 billion a year. But even if you take that at face value, that's across the entire federal government, not just these three programs. And as for Musk's comments about immigrants there, undocumented immigrants aren't even eligible to receive Social Security benefits. That's as the SSA has said that it collects more than $20 billion in annual payroll taxes from unauthorized workers. And so with this, you have tons of people accusing Musk and Trump of using blatant misinformation to justify extreme cuts that current and former SSA employees and administrators say could break the agency. With this, including Martin O'Malley, the most recent former Social Security commissioner under Biden, who said, everything they have done so far is breaking the agency's ability to serve the public. And this is you also had former Republican officials saying the same with, for example, one administrator appointed by George W. Bush calling the efforts extremely destructive. I mean, hell, it's even been reported that the acting secretary of the agency, who is a Trump ally, has expressed concerns about Doge's activities, with him reportedly saying that Trump has made choices he didn't agree with and expressing fears it would be catastrophic for the people in our country if Doge made sweeping changes at the agency. And again, we are talking about potential life or death situations if Social Security payments get delayed or they're not paid out, with one claims specialist even telling the New York Times it will affect the public in a very tangible way. I hate to say this, but more and more people will die while waiting for a medical determination on their disability claim. But then that brings us to thing number 3, which is some really scary shit, which is that the Times has published a new report detailing how Doge's cuts have reached important nuclear scientists, bomb engineers, and safety experts at the National Nuclear Security Administration. Right, and all of that, and what they described as the agency's most ambitious endeavors in a generation. Because reportedly, the NNSA is currently the busiest it has been since the Cold War. And not only does it manage America's 3,748 nuclear bombs and warheads, it's also been modernizing that fleet by arming a new fleet of nuclear submarines, bomber jets, and land-based missiles as part of a $20 billion a year effort. And again, even before Doge came in, the agency was dealing with staffing shortages to complete this ambitious workload. But now, amid Doge and Musk's hacksaw cuts, the already strained agency has essentially lost all gains that it made in recent years under Biden. But according to internal agency documents, reportedly more than 130 NNSA employees took the Trump administration's payout to resign, while another 27 workers were caught up in a mass firing and not rehired. Now, notably here, a spokesperson for the Department of Energy, which oversees the NNSA, has said that most of the fired workers had administrative and clerical tasks that were not essential to the agency's operations. But internal documents and interviews with 18 current and former agency officials showed that's just not true for the majority of people who took the buyout. With reports saying that many essential workers were part of those departures, and noted the agency lost not only officials deeply steeped in the weapons modernization program, but also a noted arms control expert at the time when President Trump has said he hopes to restart talks with Russia and China about limiting nuclear arsenals. And with that, you have experts saying that these losses are going to seriously undermine incredibly important, incredibly sensitive top-secret nuclear weapons. And in addition to that, multiple current and former NNSA officials told the Times that the workforce losses will undermine the agency's ability to monitor the roughly 60,000 contract employees who run its nuclear weapons production plants and labs. The outlet then also noted that could encourage fraud or misuse of taxpayer dollars rather than limit. And in addition to that, agency officials have said that it will be very hard to replace all the people who took the buy-in. And even if they could find the right people, they don't expect that they'll be allowed to hire them under Trump and Musk's current policy. You know, with all that said, those are just 3 of the big things I thought I could break down and try to make consumable for you today. There is more going on, and obviously we're going to be talking about that more in the future. Then, next up for your daily dose of good news, I've got a story that unfortunately begins with a tragic death. Because back in 2014, a 29-year-old waitress in Pennsylvania by the name of Katie got into a car crash and died. And when a police officer climbed into the mangled car afterwards, they found her purse, which they gave to her sister, Christina Olm. With the sister then discovering $100 inside and realizing that it was the tips that Katie had earned during her shift that morning, so she told the Washington Post. Katie was such a kind person, and I remember thinking this money should go toward kindness. And with that saying, I put the purse in a cabinet in my living room, and for a long time, I wondered what I could do with that money in Katie's memory. But then, in 2018, an idea struck me. Because you see, she's a high school English teacher, and she had just assigned Ray Bradbury's Fahrenheit 451 to her students. And with that, she says that she realized that the dystopian society depicted in that novel, where in her reading people lacked empathy, contrasted with the sister that she knew, explaining to ABC News.
My sister, Katie, always wanted to do something to help people. From the time she was really little, she eventually settled on becoming an EMT, and she was applying to work on an ambulance right when she passed away.
And so with that, she thought she'd encourage her students to be more like Katie, and here's how she did. First, she exchanged her sister's tips for crisp 20s at the bank and withdrew $400 more, bringing the total to $500. And then she told the story of the car crash to her 25 students and gave each of them a $20 bill. Explained, I told them the way we prevent our world from becoming like the world in Fahrenheit 451 was through empathy and kindness. And saying after I gave them the money, I told them I wanted them to perform an act of kindness with it and then record a little video about it. And off they went, right? Money in hand, kindness in their hearts. You know, one student simply simply ordering a glass of water at a diner and then leaving a $20 tip. Another knitting little red caps for babies with heart problems so they could be easily spotted in the NICU. And then others making homemade treats for pets at an animal shelter. Even more buying toiletries and food for unhoused people. And for each one, they created these deeply heartwarming videos.
We combined our $20 to make cookies for people at a retirement home.
We're here to Target getting toys for little kids in the hospital.
I went to PetSmart and bought cat litter, cat food, and dog food for a local rescue called Forever.
And so
Oh,
pretty quick, this caught on and random people started donating money to Ulmer for the project, with the school even setting up a fund to accept donations. And collectively, she says that her students have now spent over $7,000 and over 350 acts of kindness, and she continues doing it twice a year. And so with that, one, if you want to donate, I'm going to include a link in the description. Apparently, she'll actually email you a video showing how your money was spent, with her adding with that she cries every year watching them herself, so maybe we'll get some tears out of it too. And two, in sharing this story, in addition to highlighting some BAMFs who deserve the love and the credit, it's a story that highlights how much good can be done from so little. Right? Every mass movement, it starts with a single step from a single person. I'll keep saying it until I get sick of it. We are stronger together. But then, finally today, let's talk about yesterday in commentary, brought to you by BeautifulBastard.com. Where right now, not only can you snag yourself some of our yesterday in commentary. Right in those comments, there was a lot of conversation around Mark Rober, the interview, and the whole scandal. One of the most liked comments on the video kind of compared what happened with Rober and just the general other news that's happening out there right now. With Tazalak saying, damn, we're really holding YouTubers to higher standards for honesty and accuracy than people running the country and making cars. Additionally, we saw a lot of comments like Helena is saying, didn't Tesla get in trouble for auto driving shutting off at the last second before it crashed so Tesla can deny responsibility? With Ashley writing, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has investigated multiple incidents where Tesla's autopilot system disengaged right before a collision, saying in a 2022 report, the NHTSA highlighted 16 crashes involving Tesla vehicles colliding with stationary emergency vehicles, noting that in each case, autopilot aborted vehicle control less than 1 second prior to the first impact. You had others saying blaming Mark Rober for a negative brand image is crazy considering what the owner has been doing to the country. You also had some who was kind of happy and surprised that, we reached out for a comment and someone actually replied, which I will say, I do hope that little 9-minute interview served as an example of, I'm not looking for gotchas, I'm just looking for actual responses and news. And it felt like, and the response seems to be that it was kind of good just going bullet point of, questions, accusations that are out there and getting it from the person that it's directed at. You also had Shane saying, Phil doing an interview in a muscle tank is such a power move, which I just want to say, not a power move. If I have both my computers on in this room, it can get very hot. I just wanted to have a chill, relaxed time. Did my arms also happen to look kind of good? According to the TikTok comments, yes. Was that also a little part of the reason I did it? Not that I would admit, but back on topic, I don't know, I found the whole thing very interesting. People are gonna come to their own conclusions about Rober, the first video that he put out, the interview and his reaction and responses that, he did with me. But there is a little part of me that finds like the situation a little bit funny in that the most talked about and controversial part of that video was the fucking Looney Tunes experiment. Also, I'm not shocked there was a big reaction. Elon Musk, in connection to that, Tesla ended up being kind of a polarizing topic. The stock is down like over 50% from where it was just months ago. And that's just something. Can you take me to the root? That, my friends, you beautiful bastards, is where your Tuesday evening, Wednesday morning dive into the news is gonna end. But remember, I'll see you soon because I post a brand new video for you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Thank you for watching. Yo, faces, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow.
God damn it.
President Donald Trump's executive orders laid out a blanket 25% tariff on Canadian goods imported into the United States, except for energy. Canadian energy will carry a lower tariff of 10%. These tariffs went into effect at midnight on Tuesday, March 4th, sending U.S. markets into a dramatic sell-off. Steel and aluminum imports will also be subject to a levy. It's unclear which tariffs will last. Trump has since altered, paused, or canceled some of the tariffs. But the threat of the tariffs has prompted a strong response from Canadian leadership.
Our tariffs will remain in place until the U.S. tariffs are withdrawn and not a moment sooner.
Canada announced retaliatory tariffs, including a 25% tariff on $30 billion worth of U.S. goods on March 4th, with an additional 25% tariff on over $20 billion in U.S. imports that took effect on Thursday, March 13th. These measures come in response to the U.S. implementing additional steel and aluminum tariffs on Wednesday, March 12th, with the total scope potentially increasing to $155 billion. Tariffs will likely increase prices for American consumers, especially in states with a high share of imports, such as Montana, Maine, Vermont, North Dakota, and Wyoming.
This is not how neighbors treat one another, and certainly not best friends.
In what appears to be an escalation of the dispute, Trump has repeatedly called Canada the, quote, 51st state.
So I think Canada is going to be a very serious contender to be our 51st state.
What he wants is to see a total collapse of the Canadian economy, because that'll make it easier.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yo.
What's up, Sam?
What is up?
Well, Sam, I did the thing that I shouldn't have done, and I caught up with all the news on the internet.
No. Oh, yeah.
What's the latest in the Trump world?
It's pretty bad, dude.
Open your Fidelity app and tell me a story.
I am not gonna look at my Fidelity app for the foreseeable future. Unless it really dips down a lot, that I'll take advantage and I'll start buying the dips a little bit more. But I feel like
buying the dip may not work anymore. There's one of the articles is literally on top of my news feed is buying the dip is backfired.
Jury, executioner.
Who the fuck is Malice, Theodian? Why does he look like the upgraded brother of the stalker? And he's blue.
Like,
They're the apostles.
Oh shit. Got it.
there's currently rumors of like Tesla shareholders, the people on the board, they're selling off their shares because they all of a sudden lost about $100 million. So yeah, that's a thing.
Yep. What they call? I saw a video that was literally saying like that. What they call? You know how many stocks were purchased back by CEOs or members of the company?
Yeah.
0. Not a single person bought a single stock back at any point.
By the way, if you look at Intel, the new CEO just bought $25 million worth of.
I know. My Intel stock is healing.
That's not what you do, Logan.
That's what happens when you put an Asian in charge of something.
I'm so scared for Intel, dude. Like,
I know.
Like,
but hey, all I need is a stock to break 40 bucks and I'll be fine. Honestly speaking, I am pretty much divesting. The moment some of my remaining tech stocks get good, I am divesting entirely from tech. That shit is fucking dangerous as fuck.
As soon as AMD,
I might be able to, if I sell all my tech, I might be able to buy one Timo stock.
oh my god, I'm actually feel half with the other guys. Thank you for carrying me, senpai.
Us against the world. Armed and dangerous. Judge, jury, executioner.
God damn.
Secondary deadhead. And 2 steel essence from this. Wow.
Okay. Theo, I don't know what this grunt is. Apparently, it's a it's a derivative of the Dolvin Wolf from Double Zeta. But I think there's something about this unit you're gonna like.
Okay. Very interesting.
Look in the chat.
How do you get more pearls?
Oh.
The current score is 0-3. Time to switch things up, including which side you're on. I'm Luna Snow. Like the moon, I shine in
So,
darkness.
what do you mainly
You'll need a
use steel
top-notch team
essence
to win
for?
this one.
You buy stuff from
Tashin?
yes.
Like what? Like mods and stuff, or?
You don't buy mods from him. You buy his weekly offerings, the unlock for
Round two.
Guard the galaxy, sure.
or
But
weapon
sometimes we
arcanes.
take stuff other people are guard.
nor can you save yourselves.
Do you want to come with me really quick to do the
30 seconds before you
mission
attack.
for this
Get
chick? I
ready.
promise you, it's super easy. Like my
unlocking it,
meteors.
dude.
Fools,
They say you
I'm unlocking it right now.
you can stop my grand scheme.
Like
That's the story.
even my meteors like one the
Not yet. But if my foolish
the
brother
infested in here. I think they're between level 10
I'm
and
not
15.
concerned.
Say no more.
Trust me, I'm not concerned about
The battle
difficulty.
starts in 5.
That's
I'll
not
be right back.
at all what my issue was. My issue was I had
2,
never bothered to unlock it because I had done Gomez missions yet. So I just had to go do it. The annoying is that I have to go do Gomez stuff. Not that it's a hard mission.
any day.
It's another warframe.
I'll patch you up.
Systems restoring.
Something else to feed to them.
Wow. Are they
You
just
can't
food?
expect to win them all.
Oh,
So her bride comes out.
I mean, didn't you tell me that she's one of like the newer frames?
Yeah,
That was
for like 2 years, all she is food for the Hellman.
the annoying thing about Ember's meteors is that you need to be looking at the people. Like, so if they're behind you, they, like, her meteors don't hit them.
We're gonna win.
Well, that was easy. Alright, let me know when you unlock and I can go in with you. Nice. I just got the he got the blueprint.
You'll need
I
a
just got
top-notch
the
team to
blueprint
win this
for
one.
Komei's
一夫
rifle.
当关，万夫莫开。
Yeah. Alright.
Alrighty, let me. Oh my god, I'm in a party with Aizen HD. I wonder what makes him HD.
Hard dig, baby.
Why are you?
Calling a raccoon, huh?
Why can't you bring
Before you queue us
positivity?
up, give me a second. I'm gonna go bring a warframe. I like this thing,
I
dude.
do the right thing unless the wrong thing is more.
I saw the
fun.
amount of boosters in the back. I'm like, this feels like a Teody aesthetic choice.
Indeed, a Teody aesthetic choice.
30
I
seconds
approve of
before
this
you
now.
attack. Get ready.
Alright, let's do.
What have you done to your armor,
This
Stark?
is probably the
Didn't
best
know you
way.
could make it any
Alright.
uglier.
Gosh, I
Queuing
have
us up
missed
for
your
Steel
cosmic
Path.
wisdom and constructive criticism,
Oh,
Rob.
you're doing the steel path
Flark
one.
you
Oh
do.
shit.
I know that Earther tone.
Yeah, why would it do wrong?
What's it called?
Steel Path
Manners.
probably gives more fate rolls.
It does. It gives at least 10 more
The
fate
battle
rolls.
starts in 5.
I'm gonna chalk it up to you having a
4,
warm-up
3,
game.
Yeah,
2,
Don't ever pull that shit
I
again.
can't. I don't
Lock
do
it in.
damage on steel path like that.
Forget about damage. I don't count on you to do damage on any mission we do. All you need to do is go take the damage. I'll
You're just that useful, dude.
Coyote basically told me I am cattle. No, I'm worse than cattle.
I was gonna say cattle's pretty useful.
No, Theory has set the expectation just like I do in Dissidia when Alex plays. Right, Theo?
By the way, Theory, if the infested are inside the ring of the tribute, the timer stops, so we need to kill them.
This tribute's done over there.
Yeah, I'm picking it up.
I'll patch you up.
I've got your back, Zero. Always.
Energy's a problem.
Keep going.
And every time you give a blast to her, she gives you like a buff for like 40 seconds. Now you have two. So you should be able to kill them better, quicker.
Almost there. Ultraviolet now.
Watch this
There we
spot.
go, with more people.
Vehicle reached a checkpoint. Keep up the momentum.
We have an Octavia.
Well, honestly, my problem is energy, not people.
Whatever you must do.
We have an Octavia, and I don't know who the fuck that last.
That's me.
A still has shit. Come pick up A.
Maximum!
Sorry, Mr. Stark, but you're obsolete.
All I hear is Messos 4 going.
I'll patch you up.
You are invulnerable for 30
That's
seconds.
negative.
You're halfway there. Keep going. Enemy in your sights.
Oh, it's perfect for me. I can finally kill you.
Don't you worry, Spider Zero. We'll get you there.
Systems restoring.
This is a nice spot. This is real firepower.
Almost there. Don't turn back.
Fire rate.
I'm flocking help.
There you go, Theory. Heal them all. Listen, Lou, you wanna know something?
There lies elsewhere.
If Theory is Sebastian, then I can be, you know, CL.
I was gonna say it could be a crab.
I sent my attack to, skill.
So the example there ain't doing you any favors, considering that means that you're just called Theory a groomer.
Oh.
Tell me what part of it. Please tell me what part. What part?
I'm gonna find
Tell
a
me.
bunch of shit, but your favorite anime, and I'm gonna do shit to you.
Okay, please tell me what part of CL and Sebastian's relationship is in grooming.
And you follow the premise.
I am. What part of his relationship is not?
Your powers are mine.
What part of it is not grooming?
Wait, what happened? The Oni is immune to your full.
And this is where Wendell hides away from Anthony.
Yeah, as soon as he gets to Half-Life, then we need to just get
Score is 3, 2,
prepared.
0. Time to switch things up.
I'm already
including
prepared with
which
offering
side
one.
you're on.
You gonna tribute to him?
The right heroes could make all the difference.
Who are you calling a raccoon, huh?
Oh, the Oni is by Comey's statue, by the way. Oh. Come here, you bitch. You gigantic centipede motherfucker. Anyway, as I was saying,
He runs away from me. It's annoying.
Who occasionally takes stuff that doesn't belong
oh,
to
look at these fat, juicy crits. All my arrows are shooting in the reds.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay
As feel like we're gonna get invaded soon. I heard the thing.
Goldilocks.
There they are.
Of all times, you persist with the nicknames.
Well, if I ever call you by name, it'll be a sign that I'm actually Loki.
Good to know.
Oh shit, I need to leave. Oh, I'm murdered.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Where was he hiding? I think he was like right next to the...
Directly below me where I didn't have an angle.
We've got a lock on them.
Oh shit, he just jumped away.
And run through.
We need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Yep, and that's pretty much it. And it's literally just this.
Yeah, I already did it. I get it. 331 kills.
You're ready for action.
I'm wounded. Who will help?
10 kills. I'm very proud of my 10 kills. Oh, primary deadhead. Isn't that the one that you told me that everyone wants?
I'll patch you up. No, primary merciless is what everyone wants. Primary deadhead or
This is real firepower.
From this, and from time to time you get the parts for her shit.
think about how I
You're welcome.
My life energy grows stronger.
did use my mains.
Have to fight alone.
So Lewis, CL, person that literally got his family killed and punished by the elite.
This is real firepower.
It gives me cringe. I can't bring this.
Okay, let's not assume that I don't know the premise of this. Why is the question is?
He wants to get revenge on the people that killed his family, right in front of him, right, and basically raped them, which was never really fully discussed, but it is implied based on like certain. So with that, he's like, fuck it, I don't care if I I'm gonna make a contract with the team that if you kill everyone, that's my revenge on all the motherfuckers that did me wrong, killed my family, and ruined my life. You can have my soul.
Okay, so you're telling me is it? Yeah, and the devil is literally providing on every whim, who is effectively a minor until he gets what he wants from CL, right?
I never wanted to fight him.
You think that in the world of soul or like a demon cares about like age and all that? Soul is the soul.
So yeah, in the world of pedophiles, a person is a person, right?
A soul is a soul and a hole is a hole.
Yeah.
This is real firepower.
Sounding just like a pedophile right now.
Anyway, what I was going to say is that, and also remember under contract, until Sebastian kills all the people that did him wrong, he needs to play the role of his butler, because then he needs to hide in plain sight. Remember, even when Sebastian started serving, he's he doesn't know.
But a groomer doesn't give them all right off the bat. They're playing the long con. That's why it's grooming, not raping right off the bat.
You gotta get the juice while it's ripe, bro.
Other than filling a contract that is, I kill people for you and then I eat your soul.
Yeah, exactly. You literally fulfilling all his needs until he reaches the point where he gets what he wants, like a groomer does.
Okay.
No, not okay. That is the point. Like that is what that is.
God damn it. When I need you to wait like an extra 30 seconds before you pick up the damn pearl. So that I can build up energy.
You're ready for action.
It's annoying to have to try and farm energy.
Final score: 3, 2, 0.
Yeah, these things hurt.
Another epic victory.
These things hurt. Yep.
Why do you think pedophiles always say juice tastes better before 18?
What's wrong with you, Sam? Stop that. I'm taking the thingy.
Not me. That's literally what they do.
You have heat damage.
Who was that guy that just recently got arrested? He like fucking
From the church?
no, not the church guy. There's some Republican that recently, the funny thing is that he introduced a bill for something, and then right after he got caught.
The bill, Einkorn or whatever the fuck his name, he introduced a bill that would make disagreeing with Trump or criticizing Trump a mental illness.
Oh yeah, there you go. Yeah. And then
Not a violation of our freedom of speech.
don't worry about it, bro.
Realize that they don't care about that.
The person that complains about the freedom of speech the most is literally taking away freedom of speech from people. And these fuckers are eating it up. They don't even understand what's happening.
You know that's basically how Hitler started, right?
Welcome to the obvious, bro.
Yep.
Anyways, so yeah, they caught him with a minor thing, whatever. It was cops undercover.
Who did they catch?
The congressman, or
Oh. Yeah, all of Congress, all politicians.
Round one.
I'm the sworn protector of Quinlan. Who are you?
Right, the swarm.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
Taking the last thingy over to
oh man.
go into the next phase.
Human?
I gather that was the intent.
Typical mortal.
You in the ground? Oh.
To believe that
You're dead.
despite their imperfections, they could perfect themselves.
There we go. Kill Theody. Kill.
Battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have to stop them from securing the mission area.
False threats to this world are many, and they grow stronger. Enemy in front of us.
Candy needs help.
Some distance, please.
What is that little radiation sign on the...
Just embrace the light.
Is that the other two? 5B, there's a radiation sign.
Oh, that side or 9, he dropped radiation.
Far from legendary. Cannot thank you enough.
Oof. Clear that shit up.
Our foes have arrived.
Judge, jury, executioner!
This is real firepower! Rise, my friends!
Oh, fuckers.
Against the world.
Armed and dangerous! Again!
Damn it.
Another loser to punch.
You need to snap that chain.
Fuck.
They're just at angles that they usually get the long shit. Because there's the fucking building in the way.
They've made it halfway! Stop them!
Leave them to Khonshu. We fight well together.
There you go, fire rate.
Oh no.
There's some energy by B.
Everybody needs a hand
We're about to get
sometimes.
invaded.
Or a dagger.
He's not a concern.
Giggity.
Their gods look so much cooler than mine. Enemy in front of us.
Stop them in their tracks!
They're gonna invade your booty window.
My booty's not as big as yours.
Time to heal.
I don't know. Ow. Dang.
Wait, Wendell, you're Cuban. He's Chinese. You have more ass.
I know, right?
This is a really serious question. Have you stared at my ass?
Yeah, we've all have. We've seen the little. We've all seen the nice little shorts you like to wear. Believe me, we've all seen it.
He's over by 8, Beauty.
They hit a checkpoint.
Oh my god. Damn.
I just saw the marker over by 8. I haven't gotten the whole steel essence thing. Yeah, never mind. Let me revive this motherfucker. Oh, I revived the wrong person. Yeah, I'm out of revives.
You dead?
Yeah, I'm out of revives. Phoenix is coming to get me. Thank you, thank you. Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Just rolled up here.
I could use this.
Better stop that vehicle!
Let me give everyone another blessing.
Damn.
Invulnerability. Let's go.
That portal was horrible.
It's now or never! Stop them!
I think I'm gonna just switch.
Leave them to Khonshu.
So did anyone finally figure out where the hell Malice?
The tides always turn in my favor.
Oh man, we're not gonna get the steel essence from this.
This is real firepower.
Oh my god.
Born again. Judge, jury.
The current score
Thank you.
is 0, 2, 3. Time to
Hello.
switch things up, including
Bien.
which side
No creo
you're
que me
on.
esté sangrando por el pecho ya tanto.
Those who
Sí.
oppose me shall be left to drown in my wake.
You'll
Ahora.
need a top-notch team to win this one.
Giggity.
Did you see the
Don't
steel
have to be
essence
a
picked up on
witch
your
to
end or
find
no?
the magic in this world, but it
Yeah,
does
I
help.
don't know what happened to him. Dude, that's so fucking weird. I haven't seen any
Don't have to
blueprints
be a
drop from
witch
here.
to find the magic in this world, but it does help.
I mean, I know it's random, but fuck.
I need to change my fucking build. Let's see something.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Oh, apparently I got her spear.
Stephen,
I didn't know.
old friend.
I have a
Viral
blueprint.
radiation on
Between
my gun.
realms is most fragile. It is indeed troubling, Thor.
Radiation.
The mystic
Wouldn't you want?
community on Earth is helping me monitor all
flame?
kinds of dimensional
I have viral
disturbance.
flame. I'm testing radiation.
The battle starts in 5, 4,
Over
3,
here.
2, 1. All you need
Plus
to
I
do
have
is capture the mission area. Got
Fire
it?
on my
Every
regulators.
spell cast has its price, and my debt
So all
is
the basic bitches, I'm thinking of the damage more than the big guy. Because realistically speaking, the weapon I want to bring gets screwed in this game
Chaos control.
because of the crit bugs. Let's try it.
I require space.
Feeling stronger.
So, Matt says, would you like to bring in when you need down?
Goodbye.
Well, I bring Mesa when there's gonna be a shit ton of people all over the place in a big ass area. Because I can just shoot everybody at massive angles. If we were in enclosed areas where there were gonna be a lot of walls in the way, I would bring Saren.
Hello.
Hello, my love.
Armed and dangerous! Again!
You're taking our friend away from him.
You're taking your friend away from me, like myself away from myself?
Man, you be quiet out of this. You have no say
Hey,
in
Theory.
this.
Hey, Theory. Have I taken Lewis away from you?
Shit, my bad. I guess I haven't been paying enough attention to you. You're being taken away and I haven't noticed.
I know, what a
I can't believe it. I
remarkable...
kidnapped him.
Yeah, what a remarkable kidnapper where I'm allowed to, like, still go to places and go to be with everyone, and, you know, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, like I let him hang out with friends and like actually let me just say something. The idea of letting quote unquote somebody hang out with their friends is the foreign I'm not his boss.
I was listening to that
I wanna
CD,
say
CDI,
that.
and
Future.
CD, whatever.
Lewis wants to go out with his friends.
Yeah.
Are you gonna be the one that like knocks away the?
Nah, I need that way smaller. That's pretty.
Executioner!
You belong to me. Okay, we said it.
I was hoping that I would be considered part of certain friends, but
No, of course, but you know.
it's not. I
By the way,
mean,
let's mark it. Bob.
Only 60 seconds left.
What? You heard her say it, Bob. You heard her say it. So if you ever go and touch on it, Bob, we have you here.
Bob is probably fired by now, okay?
Shut the fuck up. Don't you dare say
Make
that.
the same mistakes
he has a
again.
family.
Bob has
He has a
two
family
kids.
to sustain.
Dude,
Has 2 kids now.
at this rate, Bob already been taken away by Doge, okay?
Oh no, Bob wasn't able to respond to the email fast enough. Poor Bob.
Yeah.
As the FBI
Poor Bob.
FBI, yes.
I actually haven't heard that the FBI was.
You do know there's a tracker. If you go to project2025.observe, you can go see all the places that they have attacked.
By the way, Theory, if you've never noticed here on the beaches of Cetus that is covered completely like in blood.
Alright. I tweaked my build a little bit so that I'm
Mm-mm.
bringing on the shoddy, and I'm testing out the new ammo in Karma. That helps me. Alright, here we go again.
Alrighty, let's go. By the way, have you ever noticed that the beaches of Cetus have like blood?
Delicious.
So the reason for that, it goes back to what I was saying.
Why is your orbiter always doing the splits?
Huh?
Gay?
Orbiter is always doing the splits. Do not grab the thing until I get some goddamn energy.
You're fine. What are you doing to get energy anyway?
I use the Uwu attack, and then I use my operator ability. Alright, I'm maxed out. Let's go.
Ooh.
Yeah, yeah, look. In the really deep masculine voice. Ooh. Alright, let's go.
Alrighty. And it begins. Fire rate. Kill theory. Kill.
Fire rate's actually real good.
The hilarious part about all this is literally ¿cómo se dice? An illusion. Ah, shit, I'm fucked.
Yeah, even in an illusion, you're getting bent over.
I haven't died yet. Crit chance.
Yeah, well, there's my shot being ruined.
So remind me again why crit chances.
Says I have a 50% chance on a non-crit to do 2000% damage.
Oh.
And you know what happens when I crit?
That
A
goes
lot
down
less
to
than 2000% damage.
Yep.
I need some energy.
Oof. Going to pick up the offering at B. Why am I the only one doing the offering? These other two fuckers aren't doing shit.
Well, they can kill people and you can't, so.
Oh, that's fine.
Who is? Oh, there you are. Why do you become invincible? It's fucking annoying. What makes you invincible?
What are you talking about?
I don't know. Some fuckers that just start taking 0 damage for no fucking reason.
I know what you're saying. I don't know why it happened. Oh shit.
Just like hooked 0 damage for like a whole minute while they ran up and like broke into the fucking place.
Yep. I don't know if it happens when they're inside of the offering circle. I think that's
couldn't
what
damage them until they got inside of the fucking offering circle.
Then I don't know.
That's the part that annoyed me. Like they were able to go in and turn it red. Look, this fucker's doing it again.
Lewis.
Is he inside the circle?
Yeah.
Look
well, now he
how
is. 'Cause
derpy this little corgi is.
died in it, but
Winston, he's adorable.
I love him.
fucking pods. Oh, I hate this fucking weapon. Ah, fucking died. Yeah, I'm bringing back my other weapon. This weapon's too fucking annoying to deal with when I have to like shoot a bunch of shit.
Holy shit.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know why I brought it. It's fucking annoying.
Well, you're testing things out, dude. The Oni's up. And we're about to get invaded. I just heard the noise of we're about to get jumped.
Hey, bud.
Alright.
And Marie, we're about to get
got
jumped.
there.
Where is this dude?
Oh, that's unfortunate.
He's down here. He's right next to the Oni.
You'll need a top-notch team to win this one.
Archie is being so cute and
I think he just killed me
and he's
too.
so sweet and cute. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. What do you got?
He's dead.
Yep. You see, normally he also gets a little red icon. Oh shit! Did you just get 4 steel essence?
Did you have a
I'm wondering if it dropped 4, if my Volpapila doubled.
Your Volpapila may double it.
Nice. Alright, I'm going to take these over.
My power is a gift from Solal the Undying.
You cannot save Yggdrasil.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
Been too long since we did this together, Luna.
The worst part is it
Ready
actually
for
did
an
a shit ton
encore?
of damage to the
An
enemy.
Agents of Atlas reunion tour?
That was the worst fucking part.
Can't deny that would be a hot ticket.
Oni is by the
Travelers
statue.
prefer the cold.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Help get that vehicle to its destination.
I could use this. Time to heal.
Donkeys to this thing. I'm lucky I might get 19k.
You could do more than donkeys, dude.
My only hope is that my Volpapila puts viral stock. Whoa!
Time to heal.
He just got yeeted.
And delete it? Fuck.
We go around picking up stuff.
No escape from hell. I am barely.
Solal has blessed me again.
You're halfway there. Keep going.
Primary dexterity. Also, this thing does drop
No, it did not drop.
Do I have enough pearls?
Get that
I
vehicle
have
moving
enough pearls
again.
to buy her blueprint. And to buy... System.
Armed and dangerous!
I wonder if the
Mm.
Again! Again!
Yeah, that's specifically for her.
Again!
Her melee and then the other one's for her gun. Are there fine versions of her one?
Will be when you're right.
Again!
Alternate fire random status aside content. Plus 450% damage. God damn!
Only 60 seconds left.
No, the blood on the beach is being extract meat from the walls of that giant tower back there. If you remember from in there, when you go inside, the tower on its walls is literally meat. That's where they get their meat from. And it's never been explained why the tower is covered in meat.
Well, what I'm saying is the reason there's blood splattered on the okay? It was much more of a clean operation.
Your powers are mine! Armed and dangerous! Again!
The current score is 0-0.
I brought a
Time to
second
switch
secondary
things up,
that may help
including which side
kill
you're
the big
on.
guy, but allow me to use my regular weapon
I am
during
Groot.
regular.
The right
combat.
heroes could make all the difference.
Does magnetic do anything for the infested?
Depends on the infested.
I think I heard you say it. What rifle is that? Holy shit.
This is the Torrid.
Round 2, go!
See, all these higher level weapons just look good.
Torrid's actually a lower level weapon. It was not very good until go get the damn pearl. Until they gave it an Incarnon. It was massive fodder until then.
Check my watch. It's almost clobbering time.
You know my weapons can still lock onto you, even when you're invisible.
I thought we were supposed to be on the same side, Frank.
We are, for now. In this business, that can change in a heartbeat.
I'll be sure to remember that. And when it does, I'll be ready.
The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You need to stop that vehicle in its tracks.
Underneath my caustic exterior, I'm still pretty close. Enemy in front of us. There's a so long.
Taking less damage.
About to get through. How do you know?
Ah, got that.
Okay.
Good thing I was here.
Oh man.
Again!
Yeah, he like stuns you and floats you in the air.
Final score 0-2-1.
Heat damage. Oh, I just saw him. Yeah, he's in his dreams. Come on, dude. Hey, I got the dread blue. I got his
No,
bow.
your corpse was in my way and I fucking couldn't charge my weapon.
I got his bow.
Yay.
What I want is his sight.